welcome to today's tutorial on factions. This plugin is featured in Server Maker for MCPE. Let's get started. So today we're going to be going over the basic simple commands of how to run and operate your factions. For example, now say you join the world and you're going to want to start it. You want to actually you don't know how to do any of the commands for it, say. It's real simple. You're just going to go in here, you're going to do /f help. And as you can see, that's going to bring up the first page of one of three of the commands. So to get to the next page, you just do the same thing, /f help, but then you put page 2 or page 3 at the end of it, okay? So once you've done that, obviously you're going to have, the two command lists that we've just popped up, pages 1 and pages 2. So we're going to kind of go through all these commands plus the third page as well, and just kind of get you set up as, and how to use it, familiar yourself with the commands and what they do and how they actually work on the server itself. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, obviously, you're going to want to start a clan or a faction itself. So you're going to come in here, you're going to do /f create, and then, pick a name for whatever it is you want to call. We're going to call ours the Snowmen. Okay. So now that we have that, you just go ahead and you're going to hit OK. And there you go. It says faction successfully has been created. So now that you've created a faction, you're going to want to pick somewhere cool for a base. Obviously, you can go underground, you go above ground, however you want to do it. But now when you do this, just pick your area, stand wherever you're at, and then you're going to just, kind of get a relative idea of what's around you. Just take a peek. So then you come back over here, you're going to do /f, and you're going to do claim, okay? So once you do this, you're going to notice two blocks are going to appear, okay? So it says plot claimed. Now you're going to see two blocks. So there's that one snow block there, and then there's another snow block over there. So if you were to imagine a square boxing you around, it's actually 25 long by 25 wide, okay? So you got a 25 by 25 square that pretty much becomes your personal plot for your factions base. So once you've established that, you have your actual plot set, you're going to want to probably set a home for it, Make sure everybody can get to it without a problem, but only faction members are allowed to use this. So you're just going to do /f set home, and then that's it. You hit OK. Home has been updated. So now that you have a home, you've created a piece of land and a faction, you're all set and ready to start inviting players to come into your faction. So all you're going to do is /f invite. Okay, so once you have that, then you're going to put the player's name at the end of it, and then this will actually send a personal invitation to those players saying, hey, you're more than welcome to join the clan. Now, as a person receiving this invitation, you're going to have one of two options. Okay, so once you get it, you're going to actually have the option to either A, accept it, or B, deny it. So if you want to accept it and join the clan, you just do /f accept, and then enter. And this will actually go ahead and start you with your faction, and it'll allow that person to join in with you as well. Now, if you don't want to, say you want to wait for somebody else's clan, or you're just not looking to join it, you're just going to type in /f deny, and that's going to stop the whole process, and it's going to tell them, no, sorry, I don't want to join you, and then they won't be part of your clan or factions as it is. Okay, so now you've started inviting players and you got people that are in this, you're going to want to start to see who's more responsible for like a leadership position, okay? You're obviously the leader, but you can promote people to make them an officer. So it's really simple. You're just going to come in here, /f promote, and then the player's name, okay? And that's actually going to give them the ability to be a little bit higher status than just a regular member of your faction. For example, if I were to just type in anything here, you're going to see I have two little asterisks, these little stars in front of my name. That's going to represent the leader of that faction itself. Now, if it's only got one asterisk in front of it like that right there, that's actually that's going to say that they are the officer of that faction. Now, if there's nothing in front of that and it's just the actual faction name, that means they're a member. So that's going to kind of give you the way to differentiate who's who in the faction and who has more of the abilities to do things. So that's something to watch out for, because a lot of people could trick other players that aren't member or actual leaders or officers of the faction itself. They could trick your guys into being like, oh, hey, bring me to your base, and then now these other people know your bases. The guys with these asterisks, they're a little harder to trick because now they obviously are a little more knowledgeable about this faction and how things work. So just keep an eye on that when you're actually doing these. So another thing that's pretty cool about this is, say say somebody in your faction, the leader or the officer that you just made isn't doing his job well enough. Well, you could also just go in there and you could actually /F demote, and this will actually take, what did I do there? This will actually take away their ability as officers. So it'll just, make them a regular member again. Or now say if they're actually completely not doing what they're supposed to be doing, you want to just get rid of them, you could also go in there and do /F kick. And this will actually kick that player completely out of your faction. And they cannot rejoin unless you invite them again. So that's just something to keep in mind. Also, if you're a leader, definitely know of that one, because that's an important one to remember. Now, there's a few other things that you may want to do while in here. So, for example, you want to check the status of your factions or somebody else's faction. Well, to check yours, you're going to do /F info, and this is actually going to bring up your faction and everything about it. So it's snowmen, leaders, snow, number of players 1, and then the MOTD is a motto, which we haven't set that yet, but we're going to do that in a second. That's actually like your saying for your faction itself. So while we're here, we'll just actually get into that. /F motto, MOTD, sorry. And then that you just hit enter, and what that's going to do is it's going to put you into another little chat setting. Okay, so nobody's going to see what you're typing in here. This is strictly just for your motto that you're going to have in there. So we'll just put ours as stay chill. Oh, let's make that look good. Okay, so now once we have that, we'll hit OK. So now it's successfully updated. So now if you go back to that /F info, here we go, and you click that, now you'll see that motto has went from nothing to stay chill. So you could switch that up every day. You could put something different, leave it, however you want to do it. It's yours to have. You ain't got to worry about it. So that's pretty cool there. Nice thing to have. So now another thing is, say you're tired of running the factions and you don't want to be the leader of it anymore. They got this other little ability that you could do. Say your officer, you trust him and you want him to take it over. So you just come in here, you do /F leader, and then the name of the player, and then this will actually give that person the leadership ability. It'll demote you, but it'll also give them the leader privileges now. Unless they give it back to you, there's really no other way for you to get it. So, remember before you do this, make sure this is something that you want to do and you're finalizing it. Okay. Also, now say you've done that and now you don't even want to be part of the faction anymore. You just kind of want to walk away. You just do /F leave, and this will actually not take the factions away, but it'll remove you from the factions. That way you can just continue on your game and do what you want to do. You don't have to worry about being a part of that anymore. This also then takes away all your abilities and privileges for the faction, but it's a way for you just to walk away from it all. Or now say you don't even want to leave it, or the faction isn't working the way you want it, you just want to get rid of it. Another thing you could do here is you can just go to delete, /F delete, and when you hit that, that'll actually completely disband your faction. So anybody that was in it, they're now no longer in it. You don't have a faction. So if you do F info, there's nothing there. Okay, there's no faction that you're set to. You got nothing to claim. Now, if I remember correctly, though, we still have a plot, though. Okay. So we've already claimed this. So now that we're not in a faction anymore, how do we get rid of this? You know what I mean? Like, why we don't want other players not to be able to do stuff. So you're going to come back into your little chat bar. You're going to do /F unclaim. Oop, messed that one up. Sorry about that. /F unclaim. Okay, and then you're going to hit OK. No, you got to be the leader. So obviously make sure you're the leader before you go ahead and do all this, because it could cause a problem for you in that one. What do we want to do here? /F create. What do we say it was? Snowmen. Okay. Let's see if we could actually unclaim this now while we're in here. It's /F unclaim. I don't know. /unclaim. Okay, there we go. Much better. It's kind of scared me for a second. I wasn't sure if we can get rid of that. Okay, well, I'm in survival. But as you can see now, we're able to break blocks, take things apart, place them. This area is now open again. So that's really what you want to do when you want to disband. So make sure you unclaim before you actually delete the factions, because then you'll run into that same little issue that I just had. So now the faction's disbanded and the land is unclaimed and everything's back to the normal again. Those are pretty much the simple commands that you're going to need to use to run this plugin. Like I said in the beginning, it's not really hard at all. It's just a matter of actually going through the commands, seeing what's what. For the most part, you're not even going to really mess with too many of them. Maybe the invite, kick, and promote or demote. Those are your main ones that you're going to use. I don't see too many people disbanding their factions, because usually they want to keep it.